there is something mysterious about the hour when the world is asleep, when silence covers the earth and even the winds seem to rest. For many on the twin flame journey, this is not a time of peace, but a time when the soul is stirred awake. One of the most common and puzzling experiences is being awakened at 3 in the morning, as if some unseen hand has tapped on the shoulder of the soul. It is not random. It is not meaningless. It is the alarm clock of the twin flame connection ringing in the depths of the night. This is often experienced most strongly by the divine masculine, though it can also affect the feminine. Many notice that it feels like she is the one sending out the call, her energy reaching out and shaking him awake, even when she is not consciously aware of doing so. To the logical mind, this may seem confusing or even frustrating, but to the soul, this is the perfect timing, the hour when illusions fall silent and the deeper truth can rise to the surface. The twin flame journey is not only about what happens in waking life. It extends into dreams, into energy exchanges, into signs and synchronicities that unfold at all hours. The 3 a.m. awakening is part of this larger picture. It is a sign that something within him is being stirred, that the connection is speaking, and that the soul is preparing for growth. Let us now look deeply into why this happens, what it means, and how to move through it with understanding. Number 1. The spiritual significance of the 3 a.m. hour. The hours after midnight have always been recognized across traditions as sacred. Ancient teachings speak of the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds being thinnest during this time. At 3 in the morning, the body is most relaxed, the conscious mind is quiet, and the subconscious is wide open. It is a doorway to higher awareness, a space where the soul can receive messages without the distractions of daily life. When a twin flame wakes at this time, it is not random. The energy of the connection has chosen this exact hour because it is when he is most receptive. The divine feminine often acts as the spiritual awakener in the bond. Her soul sends out vibrations, and he feels them most strongly when his defenses are down, when his ego is resting. The energy travels like a signal, reaching him at the time when he cannot ignore it. This is why it feels different from an ordinary disturbance. It is not the body alone waking, but the soul nudging the mind, saying, "Pay attention. Something is calling you." If he resists, he may feel restless, anxious, or unsettled during these hours. If he allows himself to sit with it, he may notice insights, visions, or even dreams that carry deep meaning. The 3 a.m. call is not meant to disturb, but to awaken, not only the body, but the awareness of what lies beyond. For those experiencing it, the best way to approach this hour is not with frustration, but curiosity. Instead of asking, "Why can't I sleep?" it becomes more powerful to ask, "What is trying to reach me?" Keeping a journal near the bed helps to capture thoughts, images, or feelings that arise. Over time, these patterns reveal the deeper guidance that the soul is receiving. Number 2, the feminine as the silent messenger. In many twin flame connections, the feminine carries the intuitive awareness more strongly at the beginning. She feels the bond, senses the energy, and often knows before the masculine that this connection is extraordinary. But her soul does not keep this awareness to herself. It radiates outward, whether she realizes it or not. Her energy speaks. At night, when the masculine is resting, her soul reaches him in silence. It may not be a conscious choice, yet the effect is powerful. He feels her presence, not as words, but as a vibration. Sometimes it comes through as dreams of her, sometimes as a sudden stirring in his heart, and sometimes simply as waking at exactly the same hour night after night. The 3 a.m. alarm is her energy brushing against his, gently but insistently. It is the way her higher self says, "I am here. Do not forget. Do not run from what you feel." This is why it feels so persistent. The more he tries to ignore the connection in waking life, the more it rises up in these quiet hours when there is nowhere to hide. This can be confusing for the masculine, especially if he is not spiritually open yet. He may think it is stress, insomnia, or coincidence. But beneath that, his heart knows that she is the reason. She is the signal waking him, the reminder that love is not gone, that something bigger is at work. For the feminine, it helps to understand that she does not need to force this. Her soul is already sending the message naturally. She can simply continue her own growth, her own alignment, trusting that the connection speaks even when she is silent. Number 3, The role of the subconscious mind. When the body sleeps, the subconscious is free to rise. It is the storehouse of memories, emotions, and truths that the conscious mind often avoids. For the masculine, the twin flame journey usually stirs feelings he is not ready to face in daily life. He may push them aside, distract himself, or bury them beneath logic. But the subconscious never forgets. At 3 a.m., when the conscious mind is quiet, the subconscious comes forward. It is the storehouse of memories, emotions, and truths that the conscious mind often avoids. For the masculine, the twin flame journey usually stirs feelings he is not ready to face in daily life. He may push them aside, distract himself, or bury them beneath logic. But the subconscious never forgets. At 3 a.m., when the conscious mind is quiet, the subconscious comes forward. The connection that he has been avoiding surfaces again. This is why he wakes, not always because of noise or discomfort, but because the soul is pressing these truths upward. His body responds by waking him so he cannot ignore it any longer. It is like a hidden conversation between his soul and his mind. The soul says, "You must see this. You must feel this." And the body, unable to stay still, jolts awake. He may not understand it at first, but the awakening itself is proof that something deeper is unfolding. For those going through this, it helps to use the 3 a.m. hour to listen inwardly. Closing the eyes again and focusing on the heart often brings images, emotions, or memories related to the feminine. Allowing these to flow instead of fighting them brings healing. Over time, the subconscious becomes less threatening and more like a guide, showing the steps that the soul is ready to take. Number 4. The energetic pull of the connection. Twin flames are bound by an energetic thread that never breaks. Even when separated physically, the bond continues to move energy back and forth. This is why many feel surges of emotion, sudden mood shifts, or physical sensations that cannot be explained. The connection is alive. At night, when distractions are gone, this energetic pull is strongest. The masculine feels it as a tug on his spirit, a pull that stirs him awake. It may feel like warmth in the chest, restlessness in the body, or simply the inability to stay asleep. What is really happening is that her energy is flowing into his, calling him to rise. This can be overwhelming if he does not understand it. He may think something is wrong, but it is not harm. It is awakening. The energy is rebalancing, aligning, and preparing him to grow. The feminine, through her vibration, is reminding him of their shared path. One way to move through this is to breathe deeply when it happens. Instead of resisting, if he allows the energy to flow, he may notice that it settles into calm. Sometimes the body wakes only because it does not know how to handle the surge. With practice, the energy feels less like disturbance and more like connection, a reminder of love that continues beyond the physical. Number 5. The call to inner reflection. Being woken at 3 a.m. is not only about the bond itself, it is also a call to inner reflection. The soul uses this quiet hour to ask questions that are often ignored in the noise of the day. Who am I really? What am I avoiding? What am I afraid to feel? These are the whispers of the soul in the silence. For the masculine, the connection often forces him to face truths he would rather escape. He may be avoiding vulnerability, love, or even his own purpose. The awakening hour pulls him back to these questions, not as punishment, but as an invitation. It is a reminder that running from truth does not erase it, it only delays it. The feminine's energy acts as the mirror in this process. She is not forcing him, but her presence in his soul makes it impossible to fully forget. At 3 a.m., when all masks fall away, he must look within. This is how the journey helps both twins grow. She awakens, he reflects, and together they move toward balance. A helpful way to engage with this hour is through meditation. Even a few minutes of sitting quietly, focusing on breath, and asking the heart to reveal what it holds can bring insight. Over time, these reflections lead to greater clarity, guiding him toward steps he would not have considered otherwise. Number 6. The purge of old energies. The twin flame journey is as much about release as it is about union. Old patterns, fears, and wounds must be cleared for the connection to thrive. The 3 a.m. awakening often comes during times of deep energetic purging. The body wakes because it is processing emotions, memories, and karmic weight that no longer serve. For the masculine, this can feel uncomfortable. He may not understand why emotions rise so strongly at night, but in truth, it is a cleansing. The soul is using the stillness of the night to burn away what cannot come forward into the next chapter. The feminine's energy supports this process, her light triggering what must be healed. Though it feels heavy, this is actually a gift. The purge makes space for new energy, for greater openness, for deeper love. Each awakening at 3 a.m. is like a wave washing away what is no longer needed. The more he surrenders to it, the lighter he feels. To support this process, grounding practices help greatly. Drinking water, placing a hand on the heart, or even whispering an intention to release can ease the purge. Instead of resisting the discomfort, acknowledging it and allowing it to pass makes the journey smoother. Number 7. The preparation for union. Every awakening has a purpose. The 3 a.m. call is not endless. It is leading somewhere. It is preparing the masculine for union, both within himself and with his twin. By stirring him awake, the connection is training him to be more aware, more open, more present. It is removing distractions and sharpening his inner hearing. The feminine plays the role of guide in this preparation. Her energy keeps him connected to the truth, even when his mind tries to drift. She is the reminder, the compass, the pulse that says, there is more. Do not forget. Each time he wakes, he is one step closer to remembering who he truly is and why they are here together. Union does not come overnight. It requires patience, healing, and surrender. But the 3 a.m. awakenings are proof that the process is already unfolding. They are signs that the soul is aligning, that something within him is shifting, even if he cannot yet see the full picture. The best way to move through this stage is with faith. Trust that every awakening is part of the greater plan. Trust that love is guiding, even when it feels confusing. Trust that the soul knows what the mind does not. This trust opens the path for the next steps to reveal themselves. The twin flame alarm clock is not a punishment, nor a random occurrence. It is one of the most powerful ways the soul communicates, using the silence of the night to reach where the noise of the day cannot. Being woken at 3 a.m. is the soul's reminder that love is alive, that growth is underway, and that union is calling. For the masculine, it is the feminine's silent voice stirring him awake, guiding him toward reflection, healing, and remembrance. For the feminine, it is a reassurance that her energy is felt, that her presence is known, even when there is distance. The journey of twin flames is not simple, but it is sacred. Every sign, every awakening, every moment of confusion is part of a larger story unfolding. The 3 a.m. hour is the soul's gentle way of saying, you are not alone. Something greater is moving within you. Wake up, for love is here. When embraced with openness, this mysterious call becomes less of a burden and more of a blessing. It is the proof that the connection is real, alive, and guiding both twins toward their highest path.